I want to be identified as an Aboriginal artist because I think that we have so much to kind of say on like numerous fields and topics. And I produce work about the internet, and I think there's space, and it's important that there's Indigenous voice talking about the internet. I think we have unique perspectives on all these kind of different topics, and it's not just our place to kind of talk about the environment or to talk about culture or identity, because we have so many other things off in a broader art sense. My home is Minjerribah Island, which is a part of Conamoka country. What's drawn me back over the years is my connection to family, learning about our place and our connection to the island. I was in Nepal when I kind of first got the email saying that I'd been selected to be part of the commission. The brief that I received was to create a vision of human physical perfection. It sort of took me out of my comfort zone. I was walking through a shopping centre in Kathmandu and looking at these stock images that were being used to promote products within shops. And I thought it was really interesting how photographs of white people that had been pulled from the internet who were promoting particular products that were quite generic and not really specific to the products which were being kind of sold in the shops. And it was kind of interesting, like algorithm bias in terms of search engines and how these ideas around human physical perfection are sort of fed to us through the media, that physical perfection is within these ideas of whiteness. For the work, I roughly designed what I want it to sort of look like in terms of having these three-dimensional planes that would hold images. But a lot of it's been like, as I've been making the structures, redesigning it as I see it. Quite early on, I realized that I sort of wanted to try to create like an anthology of images around human perfection through exploring the internet and kind of like finding different ideas of perfection, like in different hubs of communities on the internet. I've been looking at like a number of like historical artworks as well, and looking at how ideas around beauty and human perfection have changed over time. So I see this work really is forming as like almost like an anthology of what these ideas around physical perfection could be. For the structure, I've kind of been seeking out like a couple of iPads to sort of fix into the structure, display content that I've been discovering through these searches. I sort of like the idea that there will be kind of a couple of screens that will maybe play off a few different ideas against one another, how they sort of exist and coexist on the internet, but maybe you don't have a direct dialogue, and how that can kind of maybe be teased out in a video work. How I produced the work was essentially searching the initial brief and then went down one rabbit hole. It ended up in like a cyborg kind of space. It was kind of like post-human robotics kind of area. I can readdress this work in the future and maybe contribute to it more as kind of different ideas emerge, or as I find new content on this structure, add new screens or add new pieces of glass that hold particular images. Really see it as like maybe a sculpture that can kind of still be contributed to, and actually it becomes like a building archive.